Christine. Welcome to the Art of Mentorship session. We hope that after this session you will learn about the CTEC Mentor program and the various AAC chat groups in the Sacramento area. And you shall be able to explain the role of a peer mentor. Also be able to describe at least 3 skills of a successful peer mentor.
All right. Now let's introduce our peer mentors. Kate, we're going to start with you.
Hi, my name is Kate Aliff. I am happy to be here today. When I am not working as a mentor with tech, I love to spend time with my family, volunteering all around Sacramento, creating designs for my jewelry business, watching baseball, and going out with my friends.
Our mentors, I did want to mention, our mentors have prepared some information for you to share. So Kate, tell us a little bit about your journey with facilitated communication. And can everyone hear?
Okay. Yes.
My mom has always been my #1 advocate. In elementary school, she helped me figure out how to use a wooden board with the alphabet on it to communicate. She also helped me figure out the best way to be physically supported when using my device. Over the years, I have tried using different devices. Now I use a tablet with the Novo chat program in my daily life. Being able to communicate has allowed me to be more involved in my community, my relationships, and encourages me to be a more powerful self-advocate.
And Kate, why do you think it's important for all voices to be heard and respected?
I think it is important for all voices to be heard and respected because every single person has value to add to the world. It is a lot easier to help someone live their best life if know what they want and need to be safe and happy.
Thank you so much. Okay, we are going to introduce Christine.
For me, I could say, okay, I can speak my own, but it's harder to speak along because, that I use both music and AAC. So, and I have a cerebral palsy at birth. So, it's been talking until I was 5 years old. So, it came a long way.
Yes. Let's see. Tell us about some of your hobbies.
I hang out with friends. I own a go sometimes. I'm rarely at home, but I go on concerts, go traveling. I like to go places.
And you're currently in school?
Yes, I am. I almost finished. I have one more class to be a public speaker.
Excellent. Thank you. All right. Next, we're going to go to Kristen Lyle.
Hello, I'm Kristen Lyle, and I'm a peer mentor at CTEC for people who have communication devices. Hello, I'm Kristen Lyle, and unlike my 3 co-workers, I've practically seen technology for people who have disabilities explode. That was a big problem. When I was born, the biggest thing that came close to a device was a typewriter, and even though I did all my homework on it, I couldn't have day-to-day conversations. So along with my typewriter, that was a big problem. So along with my typewriter, my speech pathologist came up with my communication board. I've had a lot of devices over the years, but I came to the conclusion that the perfect device does not exist. Finally, I said let's forget the devices because it just wasn't working for me. So after a while I heard about CTEC and their work with communication devices. Sounded good to me, so I looked into their program. That's where I finally got this device and a job as a mentor for people who have communication devices.
So Kristen, we would love to hear a little bit about your college experience. Tell us a story.
I have a BA in English from UC Davis. Now, to get a BA in English, especially from UC Davis, you not only are required to read Old English, you have to understand what is going on, which I have been doing since junior high school. It was the beginning of the quarter. I was doing homework in my dorm, and the phone rang. Normally my parents would call every night after dinner just to check in. So that night, the attendant said hello, Mom and Dad. However, it wasn't my parents. Instead, it was one of my professors. So I immediately went into my student mode. My attitude was very professional. My professor basically said, Kristen, you can't pass this class. You should drop it. I was speechless for about 5 minutes. Anybody who knows me knows I don't get speechless. So when I was able to use my communication device, I politely asked, why do you think that? I actually really wanted to tell him off, but since my parents were paying for my education, I didn't. He had the nerve to tell me I could not possibly understand the language. My caregiver was about to go off on him. So being Kristen, I made an appointment to deal with him, face to face. When I hung up, I just swore. So the next day, I went in his office, looking very professional. His concern was that I couldn't understand Old English. So I fought fire with fire, just like my parents taught me. He had the nerve to tell me I could not. I asked him to read something in Old English. I can translate it in modern English. He was hesitant, but did it. Yes, I got everything right. I did everything on my device.
Excellent. I love that story. Love that story. So Kristen, what are your hobbies or favorite activities?
I don't have any hobbies, but I'm a movie buff. No, I don't like movies. I absolutely love movies. In fact, my weekend caregiver and I talk about movies during eating or listening to music.
All right. Thank you. Next, we will hear from JC.
I am JC Beal. I have speech difficulties because I have cerebral palsy. I have been using a variety of different types of speech devices since I was in kindergarten. I have been working for CTEC since spring 2023. Currently, I use a Surface Pro with an eye gaze camera with the grid. I also use a personal computer at home with a Tobii eye gaze camera. Also, I am able to access my Apple devices with a knee switch. I have built my own chat group that focuses on familiarizing brand new users with their devices and encourages existing users to learn new things about what their devices offer.
Awesome. And what hobbies do you have outside of CTEC?
I really like to hang out with my friends and family. I like to go on adventures with my parents and my friends. I really like to encourage people with communication devices to use their devices to communicate.
And tell us why you started your own chat group.
I couldn't participate in Jazzy Talkers because it was during my school hours. I still wanted to connect to a chat group. I had a connection with an assistive technology professional who previously helped me get a speech device. I asked him if he knew anyone who would be interested in a chat group. He did, and helped me start and facilitated my chat group until I took over on my own.
Excellent, thank you. All right.
Individuals who have experience or special skills. They share their expertise, motivate and encourage others. Peer mentors lead by example. We are role models, friends, advisors, advocates. We all have walked the walk and talked the talk of AAC.
Kate, you can share with us more about being a mentor.
Being a mentor has lots of responsibility. A mentor must be able to create meaningful relationships and have experience using their own communication device. A mentor must know how to model and teach others how to use their communication tools. A mentor must be trustworthy, organized, and respectful. Skills of a successful mentor. Listens with an open mind. Explains things clearly. Suggests how to do something in it. Prepares for chat groups, both the content and the location. Suggests how to do something in a better way. A successful peer mentor arrives on time and is ready with the materials needed, allows individuals to participate at whatever level they are comfortable, gives participants time to respond, and is sensitive to people's differences.
Both the peer mentors and participants benefit from chat groups. We build new relationships and expand social and professional networks. We increase our skills and desire to use the communication device. We understand the power of AAC. We increase our ability to better express our wants and needs.
There are many functional outcomes from peer mentors and chat group participants to work together. We all will experience increased self-advocacy and have less frustration when communicating. We will also have increased self-esteem and be able to carry over our communication tools into all environments in our lives. We decide which peer. Our Jazzy Talkers chat group meets in person, the second Friday of each month at 11 o'clock, and online, the third Friday at 1 o'clock. We plan a topic, game or an activity. We consider the different physical abilities and communication levels of the participants. We decide which peer mentor will lead the group. And then we send the topic and questions to our participant email list in advance. Leading out chat groups. Start with introductions of all participants. Lead group game and discussion. Save time for chatting in small groups. Model communication. Comment about participant responses and provide encouragement.
So we wanted to let you know, beyond our Jazzy Talkers, which they said meets in person once a month and also online once a month, there are some other chat groups in the greater Sacramento area, so we wanted to let you know about those. America's Connection Club meets online the third Thursday at 4 o'clock, and there's the website if you're interested in learning more about that. We Embrace is a nonprofit in Sacramento, and they hold an in-person the third Saturday of the month, and I believe there's a small registration fee for that one, but you can look on their website for more information. JC's group is the Social Butterflies, and they meet online the fourth Friday at 4 o'clock, and there is her email to get in contact about that. And the Talking Tacos is an in-person group that meets in the Nevada City Grass Valley area on Fridays at 12 o'clock. So some different opportunities to meet. It's really nice with the virtual options now, because with our virtual Jazzy Talkers, we're getting people from other states to join us as well. So we had one gal who moved to Florida, and she's joining us, and she invited a friend from Connecticut, and now he's joining us, so it's great. We're really trying to expand our network and get people meeting with each other. So I'd like now for each mentor to tell you a little something of what they have learned in being a peer mentor and in participating in specifically the Jazzy Talker chat group, both in person and online. So Kate, let's start with you.
As a mentor, I have learned how important it is to be kind and helpful to everyone you encounter, especially people who may take a little longer to share their thoughts.
Excellent. Christine?
I'm online, so I didn't know for the well, nice and kind of cool. I learned to be more patient, because online sometimes your camera not working or your sound not working, so you have to be more patient to repeating your question probably 5 times. And yeah.
Christine leads our online group, so yes, tech issues come up. Have to be patient. Kristen.
I have learned that some people with communication devices don't have as much support as others.
So very important for our peer mentors to show some additional support. And JC.
I learned that no matter what your disability is, you have the right to communicate. You might have to try a variety of different options, but everyone has the right to have a voice.
Excellent. So I wanted to let you know, my name, by the way, is Kristen Carroll. I'm one of the speech pathologists at CTEC. And back in 2011, we actually were asked to participate in a program with In Alliance. They received a grant through the California Department of Rehabilitation, and they put together a really nice handbook called Communicate to Work. And it was specifically talking about building and creating peer mentors. So a lot of the information that we've shared from these slides is in that workbook, and we will have that available on our website for anybody who would like to gather that information and start your own peer mentoring program or communication user groups. That resource will be available. So, and Kate and Kristen they are a couple of our longtime mentors. They have been with us since the beginning of CTEC. We started our program back in 2009. They were involved in this project in 2011, so you'll see their beautiful smiling faces on the cover of the workbook. So this just gave us a chance to review that information and work with these mentors and our new mentors for some training. I think our next slide I wanted to thank the United States Society for Augmentative and Alternative Communication, USAC, which is a really wonderful organization. I encourage all of you to go to their website. We received a grant from them through their Amplifying AAC Voices grant program, which allowed us to provide some more training to our mentors and talk about all the things that we've shared in our slides today, how they can more fully participate in the user groups, support the participants who are coming, no matter what their understanding of their devices. If they're new to communication devices, that's great. If they're at a different level of communication, that's wonderful. So we've been able to utilize the information from that workbook, and we really thank USAC. USAC also has a wonderful program for disaster relief. So again, I encourage you to go onto their website. They have a fund set up, and I think also a donation program. So with the hurricanes that have happened recently, if there is anybody who lost their communication device and their ability to communicate, USAC has a program to help get those people devices. So you can donate to that program. Again, I think you can maybe donate devices as well. It's a wonderful program that they've set up. So USAC.org. Okay.
I think we have a little time, a lot of time. And if you have any questions, we can answer them.
Yes.
You mentioned earlier something about you guys having like a flyer form online that you know of how to start the process of starting your own endeavor.
Chat group, yes. So that communication to work workbook, we will get that on our website, our CTEC website, and that has a lot of the information that we shared, those bullet points about what it means to be a peer mentor, how to, the skills that you need, how to organize a group, how to prepare for a group. So that workbook will be on our website.
What's the website? Oh, it's on that flyer, on the...
I have a card.
It's on the...
Wonderful. She's got a business card she can give you. It's got it. But it is
it's on
CTEC.
On the folder that was handed to us too, right?
I think so.
Okay.
CTECAAC.org is our website. Or there's our email, ctec@supportedlife.org, if you have questions about that or want more information. There are also, the mentors have graciously shared their email addresses as well, if you want to get in touch with any of them directly. If you want to learn more about JC's user group and sign up for hers, definitely email her. But if you have questions for the others as well. Yes?
I have a coworker that has cerebral palsy and does not use any sort of assistive communication and relies on people that have a long-term relationship with her to be able to understand her and then help communicate. I personally think she would benefit from a device because she could actually get a promotion if she was able to communicate more effectively, but I've hinted and it hasn't been received very well. So does anybody have advice for me?
Yes.
some advice, and Kristen has some advice for you. Thank you. So we will let them compose their messages.
Yes. I don't be by want to H E Please be patient while I compose my response.
Are you ready? We've had some tech issues before this session. Poor Kristen's device completely died last night, so she's using something she's unfamiliar with, but doing a wonderful job.
I just say don't push them, but maybe say that you find a good program.
What do you think about offering to share any of your email addresses in case this person would like to chat with one of you?
Thank you.
Yes.
Sometimes meeting someone else who's
Yes.
using a device and letting that individual know
Yes.
that it's
Yes.
not going to replace their talking, that it's just one tool that they can use, and we really, you know, we would hope that she would keep using her voice and talking as much as possible, but maybe in certain circumstances that device can really help. So kind of pointing out those positives.
It's like me. I'm pretty much. It's like I get tired very easily if I talk a very long time. If I have a better job in the future, I will use the device to communicate better.
Yeah, so you would use it more in
Yeah.
different situations if you had a better job, and yeah, as you mentioned, she may get a promotion if she. Yeah. Anyone else? Yes.
How old were you when you received your first communication device that was electronic and gave you the voice? And how did it feel?
Ooh. Did everybody hear that question? How old were you when you first got your electronic device? How did it make you feel?
I think high school or like middle school,
Middle school?
high school. That was a long time ago.
Did you like it?
Yeah, after then things like hearing advice, but now I'm using whole new. And I look in advice
Yeah.
too, but I use a different program now.
Don't.
So I am excited for it.
Yeah. She's just gonna be getting her new device hopefully this next week. Yeah.
No. I was in kindergarten, and it took me a while to learn, but I was so excited for my device. E. Auntie. No. Read. All.
This is a very different key guard than
Tree.
Kristen is used to.
B. I.
So I know, Kristen, that you were about 3 when you started with a communication board. And she said as she learned literacy, the pictures started disappearing from the board and it became more words. And
E.
as she said, she had a typewriter early on. I know she had a device that was sort of
C.
made by somebody, but it didn't have any voice output. So it took a little while, I think, to get something more high tech.
I want F. Everything. Everything. I was in kindergarten, and it took me a while to learn, but I was so excited for my device, and my mom did not realize that I would be able to even talk such much.
That's right.
E.
Okay, how old were you?
VE ties. 20-ish and VE ties.
We have a combo there. Kate was 20-ish with the electronic device, and it felt great, and then we accidentally pressed yes.
D. Yes.
Any other questions?
Every.
Yes.
Along the lines of like when you first got your device, how was it like to be motivated to use it? How long did that transition take to be comfortable using it and want to use it more often instead of verbal or visual cues of communication?
N. 1.
Good question.
O. Good question. Oh no. I like to. Oh. I'd like to know. I like to.
How long did it take you to be motivated to use that first device?
A.
A while. I think that I got bullied for a while using my own, but people don't understand me or how I have to use it
About.
more.
Yeah. So that took a little while to
E.
for you to accept that there were times when people didn't understand and so you had to use the device.
V. I'd like to talk about F. Everything.
I think what Kristen is saying, as she said in her other speech, is that she's not often speechless. She likes to talk about everything. So I
Yes.
imagine she was very motivated
Yes.
when she first got
Yes.
a voice output device.
Yes.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes.
But I also know, because I've known Kristen for a long time, that she tried a lot of devices over the years. She has tried a lot of different access methods over the years. She has used a computer with a head switch. We've tried devices with everything from eye gaze to switches to joysticks to everything else. And that's why for a while she said, forget it, I don't want to use these devices anymore. They were just too difficult. And so when we got CTEC going again and we met up again, she was a little more open at that time to say, okay, I'll give it another try. So, you know, it can go in waves like that. Yes. JC, did you have something?
I don't really care for my device because I used my knee switch and it took a while to take me to talking eye like eye gaze.
So once you got eye gaze, that made things faster and a little easier. And now, yeah, you go to town. Okay, awesome.
K. Y.
Yeah, so just to let you know about the breadth of augmentative communication devices that are out there. There are now many apps for communication that can be used on an iPad. You know, just an iPad that you buy, and you buy the app, and you've got a communication device. We've got an iPad here, an iPad there. Actually, we have an iPad here. We have a couple devices that are in repair, but Kate normally uses a device that's the Nova Chat, so it's an Android-based tablet device that is considered a speech-generating device, fundable through insurance. So there are several companies who have either produced their own speech-generating devices, or they take iPads, package them up in their own proprietary case, sometimes with their proprietary apps and software. Those can also be funded through insurance as a speech-generating device. So our program at CTEC does those evaluations to help determine what's the appropriate system for someone, helps them through that funding process, and then follows up with training to make sure everybody on the team knows how to use the device. Something like JC's device, very sophisticated. There's an eye gaze camera attached to her device, which is a Surface Pro tablet. There are lots of different companies that have eye gaze devices. Every camera on those devices is a little bit different. So that evaluation is really critical to find out which one is going to work for you, if you wear glasses or not, or how you're positioned, how you move. There are devices that have key guards on them. So both Kate and Kristen.
It costs a lot.
It does cost a lot, yes. So no one would go out and purchase this themselves. But for an iPad and an app, you know, if the family has the resources, you can do that. Key guards are available, which just give a guide on the screen, and you'll see that a couple different types of key guards.
CJGNO.
Gives just a spot for your finger to go to help with accuracy in making that location. And again, they're all different types of access. So if someone is not able to physically touch the keys, we have eye gaze. We can use the joystick, even the joystick of the wheelchair, to activate the screen and make selections. We can plug in switches and make selections. We can wear what's called a head mouse, which is a little sticker on the forehead. There's a camera on the device, and it will then monitor where I'm moving my head to move the cursor on the screen and then make a selection. So anyone, no matter their abilities, can use a communication system. Did you have another question? Yes.
For those who work, I know you cited a reference for communication for work, but people who work, like her friend, would they go to the Department of Rehabilitation for such a thing?
That could be a resource, yes, Department of Rehab.
People.
For CTEC services, our referrals come through the regional center. They pay for that evaluation and that training, and then we need to look for outside sources for the actual funding of the communication system. And there are some different resources for that. But yes, if someone is actively employed,
I don't believe that
they should
people
look through
come.
Department of Rehab as a
Can.
source too.
Age.
Yes.
Does it matter where in the state the person lives? Is it any regional center that purchases an evaluation?
So we cover just the greater Sacramento area, with Alta California Regional Center. We right now don't unfortunately have the staff or the capacity to reach other areas. And we are really one of the few evaluation centers that has a model of going to where people are to do those evaluations. So we meet with people in their homes, out at Starbucks, at their day program, wherever they are living and working and enjoying life, to find out what system is gonna fit. Throughout the state of California, there are centers or there are other speech pathologists who may have private practice that do evaluations, but CTEC is solely in Northern.
I want to make a point.
Go for it.
Communicate. It take your insurance 6 years.
Insurance funding can take a while, that process, to get a device, and then, as JC mentioned, they will not fund another device for 5 years. So once every 5 years, you're eligible for a funded system through insurance. It's good to know, thank you for that. So it's good to look at the warranties that come with them. And, the one nice thing about getting a higher tech speech generating device that's funded through insurance is that it's from a manufacturer that then has tech support and a warranty and tech service and things like that. If you just buy your Apple, iPad off the shelf and get an app, you may not have that level of support. Although more and more of the manufacturers of the apps, you have somebody you can at least email with questions, or they have good, good information on their websites, and you can get that. Oh, Talk to Me Technologies is out. They were here yesterday, I think.
If you are in school.
Oh, thank you. Yes, indeed. If you are school age, right. So if you're in school 3 to 22, it is the school district's responsibility, if it's in your IEP, that you require a device to meet your educational needs, that they need to obtain and get you the device that you need. It is then owned by the school district. So once you transition out at 22, that device stays with the district, and you now have to, get something. So we're trying to let school districts in the area know about CTEC, so that, this came off, it's not even working, so that they can start that evaluation process before the student transitions out, so that they're not without a device. There was a question over here.
I was just curious, how much cost are we looking at for maybe all the components?
Oh, yeah, well, when we're looking at an eye gaze device, it's probably upwards of $20,000 or more. Those eye gaze cameras are really expensive, and then the device is expensive. The other nice thing about getting
Yes.
a device funded through insurance is that we can get the whole package. So a wheelchair mount or any other accessories that we need. There might be accessories for access, or maybe somebody needs a wheelchair mount, but then they also need a floor stand mount at their home because when they're in bed, then they can access their communication device, or when they're on the couch, they can still access their communication device. So by getting it funded, we can fund the whole package and get everything that somebody needs. Anything else? Are we doing
Improved.
I heard something about improved. I don't know. I think this mic ran out of battery. I'm not gonna hold it anymore. Technology has definitely improved over the years.
Yes.
Kristen was saying that she believed that most people cannot communicate. Okay.
When you have some time, Kristen, you can finish that. Please chat with our mentors throughout the day. If you have any other questions, you can see how they're using their systems and, find out more about them. But,
Communicate.
Any final thoughts?
Thank you.
Yes.
Well, thank you, lady, for this speech. It's a really good speech
Thank you.
from all y'all ladies.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate you joining us today. And,
Thanks.
hope you enjoy the rest of the conference.
H.